Designated hitter, number 32, Abby Bittner. Shortstop, number 18, Megan Houck. Catcher, number 1, Savannah Talley. Playing right field, number 27, Sydney Dukes. Left fielder, number 24, Jordan Key. And now the starters for Western Carolina. The Western Carolina Catamounts. Center fielder, Brewington. Playing second base, Savannah Baldwin. Shortstop, number 35, Bailey Honeycutt. Playing first base, number 22, Myra Twitty. Designated hitter, number 13, Norton. Left fielder, number 21, Jalen Wells. Catcher, number 32, Samantha Real. Playing right field, number 10, Bailey Treadway. Playing third base, number 24, Kennedy Steuben. And today's starting pitcher for the Catamounts, number 1, Tessa Jewett. Fans, we'd like to remind you Alabama State and the Southwestern Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal from the site of competition. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, may we all please stand for the presentation of our national anthem. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you here to the Alabama State Hornets Stinger Classic. We have our game set up today between Western Carolina and Tennessee Tech. It's about an hour delay because of the weather, but it looks like we're going to have clear skies, maybe not sunny skies, but we're going to have clear skies for the rest of the day. Just run over the starting lineups as Tennessee Tech, the visitors, will be batting first. We'll have number 16 in center field, junior Mackenzie Fitzgerald. Batting second, number 21 at second base, Jordan Shirley. Have a senior batting third, number 4 at first base, Haley Bryson. Batting fourth, the number 22 at third base, Carmen Betts. Batting fifth, number 32, the DH today, Abby Bittner. Batting sixth, first baseman, number 18, shortstop, Megan Hawk. Batting seventh, number 1, the catcher, Savannah Talley. Batting eighth, in right field, number 27, Sydney Dukes. And batting ninth, number 24, left fielder, Jordan Key. Pitching today for the Catamounts will be Tessa Jewett, left-hander, number 1. She'll be in the circle today for the Catamounts as we get started here with first pitch imminent. So we've got a fairly dry infield. Had the tarp on it most of the morning. The outfield will be pretty wet. Behind the plates today, you'll see a lot of water has gathered at the warning track area of behind the catcher. So the play-in surface is going to be pretty clean in the infield. There's still several wet spots, but you're going to see a pretty clean infield as it stayed pretty dry under the tarp. And then, like I said, anything that gets out of play today in the infield is going to be a little bit iffy as far as footwork goes due to the rain that we sustained overnight and also here today this morning. About 2 hours ago, got a good cell come through and bring a lot of moisture into the area. But it should be pretty clear for the rest of the day as number 16, Mackenzie Fitzgerald, comes to the plate. Again, Tessa Jewett will be delivering the pitch to the catcher, Samantha Reel. And actually, we've got Abby Shoulders batting for Tennessee Tech here in the leadoff spot. And she's going to fly out to center field for the first out. So bring to the plate, number 21, Jordan Shirley. First pitch to her is going to be just outside for ball 1. And another outside, a little bit further out that time. Going to go to ball 2, 2-0 count to Shirley. And she's going to get another ball. Now we're at 3-0 to the number 2 batter here. The Catamounts continue to work outside. And 3-0 count is strike 1. We move to 3-1. 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. And now she's working back on the inside. She gets on the inside corner, push the count to full. Got 1 out here and a full count against as the Catamounts pitcher continues to hammer away at the outside corners. Fouled off, continue to count at full. and delivers ball 4 for the walk.
Now batting for Tennessee Tech, number 4, playing first base, Haley Bryson.
And up to bat now, number 4, Haley Bryson, the first baseman. It delivers inside for strike 1. A little high and out. It's going to be ball 1, so we go to 1-1 here. Rise ball up. It's going to give Tessa Jewett her first strikeout of the game. Move to 2 outs.
Now batting for Tennessee Tech, playing third base, number 22, Cameron Betts.
Up to bat now is Carmen Betts, the third baseman. Golden Eagles still have a runner on first base as Tessa Jewett works her way up for ball 1. And the runner's going to go, and the runner's going to be the out call there. We don't have an instant replay, but we had an out call there on an attempted stolen base. That's going to be the third out of the inning, and we're going to go silent here in between innings as we head to the bottom of the first. We've got no runs, no hits, and no errors. We go 0-0 to the bottom of the first.
Leading off for the Western Carolina.
All right, we're back here in the bottom of the first. Western Carolina leads off. Number 33, Brooklyn Brewington. She took a first strike and just fouled the second strike off to move to 0-2. We have Kaylin Cole, right-hander, on the mound, on the circle for Texas Tech, as she comes to the plate now with an 0-2 count. Slapper grounds one back to the pitcher. That's going to be a 1-3 put out for the first out of the inning. And bring up the second batter, the second baseman, number 12, Savannah Baldwin.
Savannah Baldwin.
She fouls off the first pitch. It looks like the right-handed pitcher, Cole, seems to be around the plate a little bit more, but maybe with a little bit more spin. Haven't seen Tennessee Tech, first two batters at least, really barrel one up yet. She winds up, and the pitch is going to be outside. Move the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. She moves inside this time, and Baldwin hammers it down the third base line, but foul. It stayed right on the chalk. It looks like the ball's moving pretty well, even in the outfield, as they change balls to get it dry, but it didn't come to a halt or anything like that. So it's not really standing water in the outfield or anything like that. It seems like it's a pretty good playing surface here today, all things considered, with the weather. As she drives one into center field, it's going to be deep into the warning track, and it's hauled in by the center fielder for the out. That's Abby Shoulders with the catch here in center field. Out number 2. The Catamounts bring up to the plate number 35, shortstop Bailey Honeycutt. It's going to be a called strike. Count 0-1 with 2 outs here. It throws a little change up. Loses a little bit of control of it, but it's a little bit outside to go to 1 ball, 1 strike. So umpire and the pitcher having a conversation. Not sure if she's getting information on maybe something she's doing close to legal or illegal. Usually they just call it, so I'm not really sure exactly what that conversation was. But we go back to the pitch here and getting ready for the windup with a 1-1 count and 1 out. It's number 35, Bailey Honeycutt, takes ball 2. Cole works inside, gets a foul ball from Honeycutt. Keeps the count at, or it moves the count 2 balls. 2 strikes, 2 outs. So we have 2s across the board here. So Cole gets in the circle, takes her signal, works toward the plate. We'll change up. Nice job of fouling it off by Honeycutt. Great pitch as well by Cole. And they'll face each other again with a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Now Another hard hit ball, but it's going to die out in left field. The left fielder, Jordan Key, brings in the third out, and we finished 2 innings. That half of the inning is going to give you no runs, no hits, no errors. So we are through 1 inning, 0-0, and we move into the second inning.
The ads circle. The ads circle is a new. $2,500. To contribute or learn more, simply text SWARM is 1 to 41444. Now batting for the Golden Eagles. Playing third base, number 22, Carmen Betts.
All right, we're moving to the top half of the second. Number 22, Carmen Betts, up to the plate. The first pitch delivered, fouled for strike 1 from Tessa Jewett. Ball's going to be in the dirt. Nice job of framing up by the catcher, number 32, Samantha Reel. Back to the circle and the windup. It's be a high fly that's going to work its way out of bounds, and it doesn't hit my car. So I'm pretty satisfied with that at bat. Number 22 drives one foul, bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And she continues to work the pitcher. Fouls one down the right field line. We're still at a 1-2 count. We're here in the cleanup spot for Tennessee Tech. The third baseman Betts at the plate. Remember, we ended the inning with the throw out at second base. So even though they got a runner on, that runner was expired on the bases, and so we're still cleaning the lineup with the cleanup with no outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is going to be grounded. Shortstop. Shortstop's going to make the play and record the out, the 6-3 out from the shortstop. Number 35, Bailey Honeycutt, to number 22, Myra Twitty. And that's going to bring up the next batter. Number 32, the DH today, Abby Bittner. Abby Bittner steps into the plate. Takes first pitch a little high. Ball 1, so we've got 1 ball and no strikes on Bittner. Tessa Jewett does a really good job of working in and out. Really, Tennessee Tech hasn't seen anything over the plate. She goes outside on that. And Bittner's going to drive it off of the wall to center field. They're going to get the ball in for a single. So that's Abby Bittner with a drive off the wall, well played to hold it to a single. With 1 out here, Tennessee Tech will bring number 18 to the plate, the shortstop, Megan Hawk. And just as I said, that Jewett was doing a good job of working the corner. She got that ball up a little bit. It was outside, but it had a little bit too much over the white part of the plate, and Bittner was able to drive that ball deep into center field. A foul ball. Go to 0 balls. 1 strike on Hawk. Jewett takes the pitch, takes the signal, works out of the box, but there's no play. Moves the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. And a nice changeup on Hawk to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. While I would surely advise the pitcher to move out of the way with a possible play at second, I don't think that Bittner's going to be going anywhere, as Hawk fouls one again to the fence to go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we're going to get a strikeout. Looking there for out number 2 in the inning. And that's going to bring it number 1, the catcher, Savannah Talley. Talley comes up to plate. Bittner on first base. Got 2 outs. And the first pitch is going to be low for ball 1. It's 1-0 count to Talley. They swung through for a strike. And 1 ball, 1 strike here in the top half of the second inning. And Bittner is going to be caught stealing. And that's going to be the second inning that ends. Second inning that ends with Tennessee Tech out at second base again. So we're going to go to the bottom half of the inning. We still got a 0-0 score that inning. You're going to have no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and again, nobody left on base. Myra Twitty to the plate for the Catamounts here. And the first pitch delivered high for ball 1. We're here in the bottom of the second. We're working on that with the score bug there, but it is the bottom of the second inning. And that pitch is going to go in for ball 2. We've got a 2-0 count. And Twitty prepares for the pitch and takes it inside for ball 3. And it's going to be ball 4. 4-ball count.
Now batting for the Catamounts.
And
Designated hitter.
Catamounts
number 13.
now have a runner on first as a designated player. Taylor Norton comes to the plate. With no outs, I have a runner at first, and the Catamounts are in business offensively for the first time today here in the bottom of the second. Pitch is going to catch that front corner for strike 1. And be outside there for ball 1. So we have 1 ball, 1 strike to number 13, the designated hitter, Taylor Norton. Pitch is going to be high, a little bit outside. We'll count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Cole induces the pop-up to first base. First baseman easily hauls it in for the second out of the inning. Runner remains at first.
Left fielder, number 21.
Actually, that's the first out. And that's going to bring up the batter, number 21, Geraldine Wells, the left fielder. We have fouled off the end of the bat. Second baseman gets it to the first baseman, Bryson. So this is a nice pickup, quick hands by Jordan Shirley, and recording the out to Haley Bryson. For the second out, it's going to move the runner,
Number 32, Samantha
Twitty, to second base, and that's going to bring up Samantha Reel. Foul one off into the muddy area here in the backstop. They're going to change out balls and continue play here with no balls and 1 strike. Ball hit in front of the plate. Catcher Savannah Talley comes flying out of the box, makes the play in front of her, and gets the out at first base to get the 3rd out of the inning. And in the inning, that's 2 complete innings. For that inning, you had no runs, no hits, and no errors. Western Carolina leaves 1 on base. All right, welcome back, folks. We are now in the top half of the 3rd inning. Tennessee Tech to the plate, and now batting number 1, the catcher, Savannah Talley. She's going to swing and miss there, but man, what a play to come out of the catcher's box and make the pickup and get the out at first base. a ball hit weakly in front off the bottom of the bat, just kind of beat into the dirt, right? And it just kept rolling. Pitcher moved out of the way, and the catcher able to make a great play. She swings and misses, and now it's no balls and 2 strikes. So we're at no ball and 2 strikes to tally. And Jewett works it up and away to record another strikeout and the first out of the inning. Now batting number 27, the left fielder, Sydney Dukes. The lefty swings and misses. That's 4 pitches and 4 strikes now for Jewett, who seems to be settling in a little bit as she works the ball up and away on both the right-handed batter and now the left-handed batter. And they lay off of that pitch to go to 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. That's going to catch the front corner of the plate. Get a called strike there, so now we move to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter, Jordan Key. I'm sorry, that's Sydney Dukes, and Sydney Dukes swings and misses for strike 2 to move to the batter, number 24, Jordan Key.
Left fielder, number 24, Jordan Key.
It was 1 ball, 2 strikes, and they got struck out. Swing and miss. You get a ball on the first pitch. Just got 2 outs. Let's bring up Jordan Key. Takes ball 2 on the outside. The number 9 hitter playing left field for the Golden Eagles. She takes a strike there to move the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. And fouls 1 down and out of play down the 3rd base line. It's going to bring the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Tessa Jewett, who's locked in here, looking for a 3rd strikeout of the inning. Jordan Key's going to swing through it and miss it and give her 3rd strikeout of the inning. So we've gone completely through the lineup for the Golden Eagles. We've got no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're going to go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning with the score still tied 0-0. Welcome back as the first pitch delivered here in the bottom of the 3rd to Bailey Treadway, the right fielder, number 10, is a strike. And it's a line, soft liner, back to the pitcher for an out. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. And we work our way to the number 9 batter, the third baseman, Kennedy Stewman. The first pitch is going to get the inside corner for a called strike. Changeup stays up. Hit right where the pitcher wanted it, down the line into foul territory outside of the fence to move the count to no balls, 2 strikes. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Works her way outside, trying to get her to chase something to get 1 ball, 2 strikes. And comes back in. Weak ground ball. Shortstop's not able to get a handle on that. And Stewman is able to beat the play out. It's one of those balls, kind of takes just over the shortstop's, over the pitcher's head. Shortstop charging hard, couldn't quite get it, and is not able to get the play for Hawk as we move back to the top of the order. Slapping, got an outside pitch in the dirt. Batter able to read the dirt ball and take the next base for a stolen base. And so now Kennedy Stewman is in second base with 1 out. Brooklyn Brewington, the slapper, takes ball 1, and we are now in business. Let's move the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. The slapper, Brewington, fouls 1 into the dirt and back to move the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a slapper right here. You want to get in and play and get that runner over. Give yourself a chance to get in, but it's critical to get the ball in play and get this runner over for the top part of the lineup. She takes a ball just a bit outside, moved 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Pitch comes in to Brewington, who fouls it off of her foot. Keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think a lot of times you look at the sacrifice, especially if you grew up in the game of baseball, and you think sacrifice is going to happen in one of the first 2 pitches, and then it goes off. For a slapper, it's a little bit, especially somebody who so far has shown a lot of soft skills, is at this point you want to get something in the ground for a hit early in the count. But when it gets late in the count, especially with a runner on second, it's important just to get the ball in play. She puts it in. It's going to be just a bit foul, and it's going to leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But that's the key point here now, is it actually is kind of a reverse for a slapper, especially in this situation with 1 out, where you're trying to move that runner to third base and give yourself a chance here. And she takes strike 3 on the outside corner to move to 2 outs. Now batting number 12, second baseman, comes to the plate, and that's Savannah Baldwin. So we've got 2 outs, runner on second. In a tie ball game, 0-0 here. Pitch works outside. Little change of speed. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. A little bit more speed, same spot. She doesn't chase this one. Makes the ball makes the count 1-1. 2 outs here with a runner on second. Catamounts give some kind of threat at least with a runner on second base. The pitch comes inside but not quite, getting that corner to move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. The ball's going to work outside. We go to 3 balls, 1 strike. As Kalen Cole continues to work in and out and wind up in the pitch. It's going to be a high fly ball to right field. It's in foul territory, and the right fielder, Sidney Dukes, is unable to track it down. Just a little bit out of her range, about 10 feet in the foul territory, and that's going to bring the count to full with a runner on second. Ball's going to go outside. Pitcher tapping her chest. That's our bad. It's going to give runners on first and second as Bailey Honeycutt comes back to the plate with a runner on first and second, 2 outs. And the coach is going to go to the mound and have a little conversation with the pitcher and catcher here. Again, we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second. All the coaches, the hitter comes in with a little conference with all the coaches on offense. Pitching coach out, speaking with the pitcher and the catcher, making sure everybody's on the same play right here. In a game that looks like it's probably going to be low scoring or possibly be low scoring, as everybody kind of gets their second look at the pitcher, we'll see how they decide to approach the batter. So coaches go back to their respective corners. Clean count on the batter. Honeycutt. Runner on first and second. Pitch is going to catch the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Ball's going to be in the dirt. We're going to get a 1-1. Ball hit into right field for a recorded out by Sidney Dukes. So Western Carolina threatens a little, but comes across with no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Leave 2 runners this inning on base. So we've played 3 here, and we've got a 0-0 score. All right, fans, we're back. We've got a 2-2 count here on Abby's shoulders, the top of the lineup, and she's got a 2-2 count, fouled the last pitch off, and we're back in business. Wind up in the pitch is going to be fouled into foul territory, other side of the fence. Continue to count at 2-2 as Tessa Jewett, who struck out the side last inning. Tennessee Tech's gotten 2 runners on and been thrown out at second base to end 2 innings, and then struck out the side this inning. So we're back at the leadoff position with the center fielder, Abby Shoulders. It's going to take a low ball to push the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's going to be a hit. Stays up in the air a little bit longer than it looked like it might off the initial hit. Hit to the right fielder, Bailey Treadway, who brings it in for the next out. And this is going to bring up Jordan Shirley. Takes first pitch for a ball. And then a strike. So we got 1 ball and 1 strike on Shirley. She fouls one off. Foul territory on the right field, first base line. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shirley fouls the ball back. Keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lays off the high changeup. Push the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Follows the changeup down the middle, a little high up with an outside pitch. A little bit of velocity on that one. Shirley fights it off to stay alive here. Wind up in the pitch. It's going to be down the middle but low, and then we're going to push the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan Shirley already having a really good at bat here. And she pops up to the second baseman, Savannah Baldwin, to record the second out.
Playing first base, number 4, Haley Bryson.
And that's going to bring up Haley Bryson, the first baseman. And the first pitch is going to be high, trying to bait her into swinging at something working its way up, and doesn't get her to take, so she works through her second time in the lineup, and she's recorded 2 outs. Now she has 1 ball and no strikes. And a foul out. We've got 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Miss high, 2 balls and 1 strike. pitch down the middle, moved the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and here we are again with another 2-2 count. Wind up in a hard hit ball, but into the short part of left field and easily hauled in by the left fielder Geraldine Wells to record the 3rd out of the inning.
No runs.
Got no runs,
No errors.
no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And that's going to complete the 4th inning, or the top of the 4th. We're going to move to the bottom of the 4th. Recording, I can record them under who they are, so even if they're reversed, I'm manually, Now batting number 22, the first baseman, Myra Twitty. She's going to take first pitch inside. Didn't get very many pitches last at bat, so they work on the inside on this at bat. So the cleanup spot is somebody that they seem to be working around as a miss. Moved to count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, no strikes. Look how far off the plate she is, though. What are you looking for? Inside pitch fouled off. Into foul territory to move the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. He got a 2-2 count on the board. You got 3-1? I thought he called the strike. Yeah. Yes. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Twitty. They're going to come inside again. She's going to foul the ball off hard again into the dugout. We're here in the bottom half of the inning. Little bit of cloud cover, but nothing that looks like it's threatening rain or anything else. Right now, it just looks like a beautiful day at the ballpark as the wind up in the pitch is low and in the dirt and pushes the count to full. Kaylin Cole, who's given up a hit this game, found herself in a little bit of a jam with runners on first and second. Running on second with 1 out early, but was able to work out of it and get out of it here. The pitch to Twitty, hard down the line, and even though the umpire was running for dear life and had his head down, it was clearly foul. So anytime it almost hits the umpire, he knows if he's standing in the proper position. That's why you stand in the foul territory. If you do get hit, then you are in foul position and you know what the call is that you can make. Pushes the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Twitty, hit hard to center field. It actually brings it a little bit in on the center fielder. She's able to haul it in. Tennessee Tech records the out with center fielder Abby Shoulders making the haul on the out.
Number 13, Taylor
Coming to the plate now, number 13, Taylor Norton. With one out, she off the end of her bat to the first baseman, Haley Bryson, who then steps on the bag for the second out of the inning.
Now batting for the
One of Cole's easier outs today.
Field, number 21, Geraldine Wells.
Now coming to the plate, the left fielder, number 21, Geraldine Wells. The wind up in the pitch with 2 outs. It's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. And she fouls the next pitch off to go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball and 1 strike and the wind up in the pitch. It's going to be in the dirt. We're going to go to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That's going to go into a little mud pit that's developed between the dugout and the backside of home plate. Home plate still looks just a little bit swampy, actually. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here again for about the 6th time, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Line drive off the pitcher's glove to shortstop. Throw is wide. She's going to take second base on the bad throw. And so Geraldine Wells reaches second.
Now batting for the Catamounts, catcher, number 32, Tenneesse.
Ball hit off of right off the front of the plate. Catcher makes another great play to get out in front of it and get the out at first base. That's going to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. All right, and so we're back here, top half of the fifth inning. The first pitch was a ball. Carmen Betts comes back to the plate. We got 2 balls and no strikes. The third baseman, number 22, Tessa Jewett, continues her stint in the circle. Pitches inside, driven down the third base line, but foul. Run a count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball is popped up to the shortstop, Bailey Honeycutt, who hauls it in for the out.
Now batting for the Golden Eagles, designated hitter number 32, Abby Bitzner.
And that brings Abby Bittner back to the plate, number 32, with a drive off the center field wall, her last at bat. Takes the first pitch for a strike. She's also caught stealing in that second inning as well. Takes the pitch outside, or swings through the pitch outside. It's going to move the count to no balls and 2 strikes. And Bittner pops the ball out of play into foul territory to number 22, Myra Twitty, who hauls the ball in. The second out of the inning, and the second pop-up. Jewett seems to be moving the ball with a lot of spin, getting a lot of those pop-ups, having those just misses with that spin, and that ball is going to be outside for ball 1. She's moved the ball around well today. She's kind of kept Tennessee Tech hitters on their heels even as they're getting more contact. Their second time around, they're not getting good contact. The count's going to move to 2 balls and no strikes as she just misses. Looks like maybe down low to the batter, Megan Hawk, who pops it up high to center field, and the center fielder, Brooklyn Brewington, is able to haul the ball in for out number 3. You got no runs, no hits, nobody left on base, and that's going to be the top half of the inning completed. We'll move to the bottom half of the inning next.
Sam's Club and Alabama State Athletics are excited about their new partnership.
And we're off and going. A first pitch of the inning. Number 10, Bailey Treadway, pounds one into center field on the ground and leads off the inning with a hit for the Catamounts.
Third base, number 24, Kennedy Steuben.
And that's going to bring up Kennedy Steuben, the third baseman. Looks like they're trying to move the runner with the bunt. Steuben not able to get the ball down here, and it's going to go to no balls and one strike with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Squares and bunts, gets a perfect bunt down. She's going to be out on the sacrifice bunt, but she's going to move the runner. And now with one out, the Catamounts in scoring have a runner in scoring position, and they're back at the top of the lineup with Brooklyn Brewington now getting her third at bat. The slapper has an opportunity to maybe, she has a runner on second with one out last time. Let's see if she can have a different result this time around. She hits the ball to second base and is able to move the runner. Now we have a runner on third base with number 12, Savannah Baldwin, coming back to the plate.
Playing second base, number 12, Savannah Baldwin.
Cole works on the inside of the plate now. She's got two outs. It's the first time we've seen a runner at third base today, here in the bottom of the fifth. Pitch hard to shortstop. Shortstop makes the pickup. First base, Tennessee Tech allows a runner, but makes quick work of it. They don't get it. Western Carolina doesn't get any runs. They do get a hit. No errors in the field, and one runner left on base.
To announce their partnership with Drury Inn and Suites of Montgomery. Call Drury Hotels for all of your hotel needs. Home and visiting fans, be sure to ask for the special Alabama State rate here in Montgomery. Any time of year, travel happy with Drury Hotels. We've got you covered.
All right, here we are now in the bottom of, or the top of the sixth in Tennessee Tech at the plate. First pitches delivered high from Tessa Jewett, who has only allowed one hit today and looked pretty solid in her work so far as she starts to see the lineup, the leadoff of the inning. Catcher Savannah Talley, and she flies out to right field, and that's Bailey Treadwell hauling it in.
Right fielder, number 27.
Now batting the right fielder, Sydney Dukes, with one out. The first pitch delivered as a strike. It's got no balls and one strike. It's a wind up in the pitch. Delivered outside. Moves to one ball, one strike on Sydney Dukes. The swing and the miss. Last time through the lineup with Tally Dukes and Key, Jewett was able to get 3 strikeouts. She got the fly out to right this time, and she's got a ball and 2 strikes. And on this at bat, she's going to miss the ball, miss on the outside corner to move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher tries to frame it up a little bit, but it's just a little bit too outside. No fooling the umpire on that pitch. And she swings and she misses and she strikes out for the second time today. Tessa Jewett throwing a really good game here as she faces the 9th batter, Jordan Key, who is the left fielder, and she struck out the last time as well. It's a line drive to the shortstop. Bailey Honeycutt. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Tessa Jewett. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're still tied 0-0 as we move into the bottom of the 6th inning.
Hornet Nation, you've wondered what it takes to continue getting the best student athletes.
All right, Western Carolina brings Bailey Honeycutt back up to the plate, the shortstop. She lines one fair into the right field corner. It's cut off at the wall, but it's not going to be cut off soon enough. And then Bailey Honeycutt opens the inning up with a stand-up double down the left field corner wall. Brought in quickly, but just too far down the line to be able to give it anything but a stand-up double. As Myra Twitty comes back to the plate for Western Carolina, and they're in business here with a runner on second base and no outs. She's going to ground out to the third baseman. They're going to come back across for the throw out. They're asking for an obstruction call here. And she's staying on the base as they go first base back to third base for the tag out. She's saying she didn't have anywhere to go. Unfortunately, she didn't have anywhere to go because the ball was already there before she got there. They're going to confer. The officials are going to confer, and the home plate umpire is going to let them know what he saw. And they're going to continue to award the out to Tennessee Tech, who's able to get a double play there. The coach arguing that the player was already set into the line before the ball was received. And it's always a tough call. You usually see that at home, but when it comes back across the dish like that, then sometimes you'll see it as well. That's going to be a double play, and you're going to see another hit here deep into the hole at shortstop for number 13, Taylor Norton. So that's the second hit of the inning. But they also have 2 outs now as Geraldine Wells prepares to come to the plate. And number 5 for Western Carolina enters the game, Claudia Riddle. She'll be pinch running at first base. And again, that's going to bring up Geraldine Wells, the left fielder, now with 2 outs in the inning.
Claudia Riddle.
The pitch is going to be outside, maybe looking to see if Western Carolina was going to try to get a quick base with their runner. And it's also here, you throw them out right here and you still have a good part of your lineup up, so it's probably something where you might take that chance here, and they are going to take the chance. Throw comes in, takes a bounce off the glove, and the runner, Riddle, is going to be safe at second base with 1 ball now and 1 strike. So countouts back in business, and really wanted to kind of see that with Wells up. Got some hitters that can probably put it into the outfield and gives them an opportunity to get back in scoring position. She takes a pitch on the inside part of the plate, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaylin Cole delivers the next pitch, and it's going to be outside. It's going to be go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs with a runner on second base. Going to get a timeout call here in the box. Waiting on signals and communication between the pitcher and the catcher. And we're back in business here in the windup and the pitch. It's going to be inside, and they are going to throw the runner out at third base to end the 6th inning. It's going to be no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Oh, no. No one left on base. I apologize. She got thrown out. Leadoff number 16, Abby Shoulders to the plate and takes ball 1. It's a blooper in the right field. Right fielder coming in hard. It's number 10, the right fielder, Bailey Treadway, with a nice play. Stayed in the air just a little bit longer than they wanted. And this is going to bring up number 21, Jordan Shirley, with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. The pop-up's going to be foul right up here by us. We should hear it. Bang. That's going to be strike one. No balls, one strike, and one out here in the top of the seventh. That's going to be a ball hit in the gap. It's going to be cut off at center field, but she's going to be running for two, and she's going to come in standing. It's Jordan Shirley with a stand-up double in the gap, and that puts Tennessee Tech in business here with their second hit of the game.
For the Golden Eagles, playing first base, number 4, Haley Bryson.
And now batting, coming up to the plate, Haley Bryson. One out here in the top of the seventh. Pitch is going to catch that outside corner for strike one. She attempts the strike, gets the strike. Attempts the bunt, gets the strike call. Catcher runs the runner back to second base with the center fielder covering, and we're now at no balls and 2 strikes. Bryson steps in, pokes one to second baseman, who gets the unassisted double play. Really not much you can do on that ball. A little bleeder, and you kind of find yourself in no man's land. And Tennessee Tech, unassisted double play by the second baseman for Western Carolina, number 12, Savannah Baldwin. And now we'll go to the bottom of the seventh now. That inning we chalked up no runs off one hit, nobody left on base. All right, so welcome back. We're here in the bottom of the seventh. Western Carolina be coming to the plate. We've got a little bit of a hold up. I think coaches, the Western Carolina coach, making a lineup change. Looks like Natalie Henry will be coming to the plate.
Now batting for the Catamounts, number 8, Natalie Henry.
So Natalie Henry will be leading off here in the bottom of the seventh. And Western Carolina's going to lead off with another hit. And the Catamounts are in business once again.
Now batting for the Catamounts, number 52, Amber Parker.
And that's going to bring in another hitter, number 52, Amber Parker. As Henry gets her lead. So Parker's up, looking to end the game with one swing there, and that's going to be strike one. No outs, runner on first. Parker looks like she has the big stick, and she's going to swing at the changeup through the pitch, and it's going to be 0 balls, 0 strikes as Cole continues to deal here in the bottom of the 7th. We've got no balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on first. Amber Parker at the plate, trying to get her timing down. Uses the timing move. It looks like maybe a bunt or something of that nature. Brings it back and fouls the ball off for no balls and 2 strikes. Yes. Cole with the windup in the pitch. It's going to be a change up high. Tapping her chest, my bad, but it's an 0-2 pitch. I don't think it's going to get her in much trouble. Still with the runner on first. Western Carolina threatening again. Ball comes inside for strike 3, the called strike on the inside part of the plate.
Now batting for the Catamounts, right fielder number 10, Bailey Treadway.
So now batting the right fielder, Bailey Treadway. Ball is short to second, and they get the first and out, the lead out, but Treadway's safe at first. That's going to give us 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. We may be, extra innings maybe right around the corner as number 24, Kennedy Stewman, comes to the plate. And the pitch is inside for a ball. And the pitching coach, or the coach, back out to the circle. She brings the whole infield in. She's having a conversation with the catcher and the pitcher, though, how they're going to approach this. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 outs. The offense gathers around for just a moment, talks about their strategy, and that is to score a run and end the game. Pitcher breaks up in the circle. Their strategy, get an out, give us another shot. Line score right now, Tennessee Tech with 3 hits, Western Carolina with 5, Tennessee Tech with an error. But both defenses, we've had a couple of double plays and a couple of throwouts, and it's kind of kept not very much action on the bases at this point with the windup and the pitch. Hard ball to shortstop off the front of her, off the heel of her glove, popped straight up in front of her. And that's going to extend the game right here and put runners at first and second. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and it looks like it looks like the Catamounts are looking to make another change, this time with a runner, number 45, Riley Lambert, in the game to
Number
run.
45, Riley Lambert, now in the game for the Catamounts.
So we've got Treadway on second. I guess you bring Lambert in just in case there's a close play, bang, bang, that she might can get that extra step to a force out or something of that nature, her run wouldn't mean anything, but having some speed on the base could keep you from getting an easy force out in that position. So that's why you make that change there and get maybe a more skilled runner that might not make that a less chance of getting caught in any kind of a pickle or rundown or anything like that, and maybe give that extra step to the next base in the windup. And the pitch to the leadoff, number 33, the center fielder, Brooklyn Brewington, is fouled off for strike one. Cole with the windup in the pitch. It's going to be low and away. Nobody's moving. It's going to go to 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch gets that front corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brewington. Wind up in the pitch. Brewington hits it into the 6 hole. Not able to beat it out. They're able to record the 3rd out. Tennessee Tech's Hawk to the first baseman Bryson for the put out. And we've got extra softball here in Montgomery, Alabama. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. The score's tied 0-0. The line at the end of 7 innings is 5 hits for Western Carolina, 2 hits for Tennessee Tech, 2 errors for Tennessee Tech, 0 runs on either side. Tessa Jewett still in the circle here in the 8th. We are going to be in international tiebreaker rules, so the last batter out for Tennessee Tech, number 4, Haley Bryson, returns to second base. And we're going to see Carmen Betts, number 22, the 3rd baseman, at the plate as we continue into the top of the 8th inning. First pitch, high for a ball. Betts puts the ball down, gets the ball in play and moves the runner. A nice bunt by Betts, sacrificing the runner Bryson over.
Now batting for the Golden Eagles.
And we are looking at the closest we've had to scoring all day with a runner on 3rd and 1 out as Abby Bittner comes to the plate, the designated hitter for Tennessee Tech. And the outside pitch is fouled back to the fence. No balls, 1 strike. She was 3 in the lineup. Ball fouled out of play by Bittner. We go to no balls, 2 strikes. One thing we've seen today Tessa Jewett has battled up and down this lineup, and as they see her for the third time today, see if they're able to do anything. Haven't been able to do much different at this point here in the top of the lineup. That ball sails outside, foul, for a ball. We're at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here as Bittner digs in. The pitch is going to be on the inside corner for a called strike 3. And Western Carolina so far has handled the international tiebreaker about as well as you can. They get the strikeout. They handle the sacrifice bunt. They get the strikeout, and now we're at 2 outs with a runner on third. The pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Jewett's done a good job today moving in and out. She's also moved up in the zone a couple of times today. That time she gets it right across the strike, but gets it by her. And that's Megan Hawk, the shortstop, who swings through it for 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Pitch is going to be high for ball 2. That's one thing both pitchers have done today really very well is keep the walks down. I don't even remember Jewett having a strikeout. A walk, and I think Cole might have had 1. It's a swing and a miss. So we'll go to 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with a runner on third base here in the top of the 8th. And the 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for maybe the 6th time today we've seen this as Jewett toes the rubber. Hawk digs in for the windup in the pitch. And she gets the outside corner call, and that's going to be strike 3. And they get out of the international tiebreaker inning. They got no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied 0-0. All right, we go back to the bottom of the 8th. The Catamounts get to put leadoff number 33, Speedy Brooklyn Brewington, on second base as Savannah Baldwin, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, comes up for the 4th time today. She's going to take the pitch inside, and Cole still out there on the rubber. It's going to be 1 ball and no strikes. And you don't ever want to set yourself up thinking that you're going to go into extra innings. But if you are, it's really nice to have your leadoff runner not have to make any adjustments and have the fastest probably runner on your team, or at least a leadoff, your best on base and your best base mover on second base to start in the ITB. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The bunt is popped up and back to the fence, and so what could have been a catastrophic bunt attempt is a pop-up, does land back there in a little swampy area down by the fence. They're going to change balls out, and there's going to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we got a swing away and then an attempt to move the runner. And now we're at a 1-2 count where you'll be swinging again here, and it moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I don't know if you're going to want to have the mentality, drive it, get the ball in the gap and get the run in, or make sure that you get her over. I think that speedy runner on second base allows you to keep swinging as if you were attacking and not take a safety swing to just get the ball in play. So the ball is high, and now we have a full count on the batter, number 12, Savannah Baldwin. They'll wind up in the pitch. It's going to be hit hard in the gap. I think we're going to hold her up here. Going to move for the extra base, and so now we have runners on second and third, which could still be important for that runner. Some people will say, why are you sending her? You get her to second base. That way, if you have you can take a chance maybe here at home as number 35 Bailey Honeycutt comes to the plate, and you can replace that runner on third with the runner on second. So it's important to still be aggressive on the bases behind that person, especially with no outs. And so we have Brewington on third, Baldwin on second, and Honeycutt digs in and drives the ball. It's going to hit. It hits into the glove and pops right out, but it's going to be enough to get the runner, Brooklyn Brewington, in to score. And we have a final here. Western Carolina 1, Tennessee Tech 0. Very well between both players. Kaylin Cole with a great game pitching in the loss. Tessa Jewett with a great effort in the circle for Western Carolina. She only allows 2 hits, and so we have a final of 1-0 here, and we're going to sign out. Our next game will be approximately 30 minutes from here between Western Carolina and your Alabama State Lady Hornets. All right, everybody. My name's Craig Howard with Alabama State Sports Network, and we've got 1 strike, no balls here on the leadoff batter, Brooklyn Brewington, as Alabama State has in their circle Bailey Greenlee. She paints the outside corner, and she's at 0-2 here to begin the game. Greenlee pitches outside. trying to bait the pitcher with that 0-2 pitch, or bait the batter, Brewington, with the 0-2 pitch, but she's not getting anywhere. Still 1-2. Goes outside again. We are at 2 balls and 2 strikes here on the leadoff batter. Greenlee continues to stay outside. Moves the count full. It's 5 pitches, 5 on the outside. She got the first 2 strikes, and then she's gone a little bit too far. So it's pushed the count full on Brewington here in the windup and the pitch. It's going to miss into the chalk once again, and she goes from an 0-2 count to a 4-0 count. And I'm sure Coach Todd Bradley is not very happy about starting off the batter that way, but hopefully Greenlee will settle in here as the game goes. Western Carolina won the last game 1-0 in 8 innings, so they've got a little bit of play underneath them. This is first game here for Alabama State. The pitch down the middle, Brewington takes off to second and is safe on the throw. So Western Carolina is here in business as Brooklyn Brewington walks and then takes second base on a stolen base. We go to 0-1 on the count. Next pitch on that outside corner. And we got an 0-2 count on the batter, Savannah Baldwin, the DH for Western Carolina. Greenlee signals to her defense, takes her signal from the bench, rocks and throws high, pushing the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside pitches fought off into foul territory. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Baldwin. She continues to fight it off. She fouls off. Catcher can't hold on to the foul tip. Goes into the little, still pretty wet area. If you're just now tuning in, we got a little bit of rainstorm, obviously last night. This morning, the infield is in pretty good shape. The backs by the backstop is still really wet. Greenlee gets the pitch call and misses high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with no outs. The outfield doesn't seem to be playing really wet. Balls seem to be moving out there pretty well. Just along the fence lines are the only places that you really have a lot of water that's kind of gathered. Otherwise, it's a pretty good playing surface as the ball is hit to right field and caught by the right fielder in the gap. But Brewington is able to tag up and make it to third base on the throw. So very nice play by the right fielder, Alexa Denby, to get into the gap. But the speedy leadoff Brewington was able to move in to third base and closer to scoring as we record the out. And now we have the third batter, Bailey Honeycutt, coming to the plate and the rock and pitch. It's going to be just a bit outside. She's nibbled on those corners all day. I think the umpire's been pretty consistent. They were really tight umpiring crew in the first game. Obviously, somebody else behind the plate on this, but they were real tight but real consistent in the last one. They look at a possible suicide squeeze here to get her in. Honeycutt goes for the bunt, pops it up into the net, though, and records strike 1. So we've got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on third, and Honeycutt at the plate. Bailey Greenlee takes the signal. The wind-up and pitch. It's going to be a little high for ball two, and we move to 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind up in the pitch, and she can't catch up with the fastball. So Honeycutt swings through it, and you got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Held up, no check to the umpire. So we're going to go to a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Fights off the inside pitch. Keep the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's going to be called ball 4. He's going to advance to first base. That's going to put Honeycutt on first, Brewington on third, as first baseman Myra Twitty comes to the plate. So we've got a first and third situation here with 1 out. Greenlee finds herself in just a little bit of trouble. Pitch away for ball 1. Runner goes. They're going to give up the run to get the out. She's in a run down here. And they got her at first base, so they get the out. They give up the run. Excellent run down by Baldwin. Alabama State does a good job of moving the ball back and forth and getting her back toward that base and giving themselves a chance to get the out. And they do get the second out of the inning, but it will come at the cost of a score, but it does clear the bases. So we have 1 ball, 1 strike now with 2 outs. Pitch on the hands, popped up to the third baseman, just into foul territory, fielded by the third baseman, Parrish, and that's going to end the top half of the inning. Not before Western Carolina is able to get 1 run, reach on no hits, no errors, and then nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first when we return. First pitch ball. Outside for ball 2. Kendall Doremus comes to the plate, leading off for the Alabama State Hornets. She shows bunt and takes the inside pitch, move the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind up in the pitch, fouled off. Pitcher Taylor Norton for Western Carolina. Earlier, count mounts earlier today 1-0 in extra innings. So that puts them at 1-0. This will be Alabama State's first game of the season. Doremus takes the pitch. Soft slap to third, easily fielded to the first baseman Twitty, and the put out.
For the Lady Hornets, number 3, pitcher Bailey Greenlee.
Now batting for Alabama State, the pitcher batting for herself. The designated hitter is actually batting for the second baseman Gardner. Greenlee at the plate and swings the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. Greenlee pulls the ball into right field, but stays up just a little bit too long. Right fielder Bailey Treadway able to handle the catch and make the out for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up in the 3 hole the shortstop, Elena Scott. Scott takes the first pitch down the middle for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch from Norton. Scott fouls it straight back on the top of the press box to push the count to 0-2. Pitch gets the front corner, finishes out, but comes across that first corner for strike 2, and look at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Pitch in the dirt, moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes, and we have our first 2-2-2 count of the game. Scott swings and misses. That's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. We've played 1. There's no hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the 2nd, score 1-0. Welcome back to the top of the second.
Now batting for the
Western
Catamounts,
Carolina up
playing second
1-0.
number 8, Natalie
Western
Henry.
Carolina brings up the second baseman, Natalie Henry, as Bailey Greenlee continues in the circle. First pitch finishes high for ball one. One ball, no strikes. Wind up in the pitch. This one's going to find itself over the white part of the plate for a called strike one. It's one ball and one strike. Bailey Greenlee, senior pitcher. She bats left-handed, but she does throw right-handed. She misses outside and high. She's a transfer from Missouri State, from the state of Washington, though, and then we'll be making a West Coast trip later on this year. Don't know how close. I know she won't be very close to where she's from, but maybe her family might have a chance to get down and see her. She gets a pop-up right on the line toward foul territory. The second baseman, Jada Gardner, able to get over there and handle it easily for the first out of the inning.
For the Catamounts, left fielder, number 21, Geraldine Wells.
Ball gets back into Greenlee as number 21, Geraldine Wells, digs in to the box with one out in the pitch. It's going to be fouled off outside of the lines. The count will go to no balls and one strike. Next pitch inside, but a little bit low. Move to count on one ball and one strike. Comes in high for strike two. Greenlee finishes low. The 5'5" senior is in the circle, but also can be found in the outfield as well, as you saw her batting the two-hole earlier. Crowding the plate, she gets inside on the black and gets the inside pitch call for strike three. Looking.
Now batting for the Catamounts, right fielder, number 10, Bailey Treadway.
Brings up the batter, Bailey Treadway. Greenlee seems to be dialing in here. She gets the foul off of the bat on the inside pitch to go to no balls and one strike. It's going to be a low pitch. Hadn't seen that, Paul. Alabama State fans wanting that call, but we haven't seen that call all day. He hasn't really given that low, below the knee call, so it's pretty consistent with where the zone's been all day. She misses low again here and runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike here with 2 outs. Ball hitting the gap between short and third base for a single.
Now batting for the Catamounts, catcher, number 32.
And the first hit of the game.
Real.
And that'll bring up number 32, Samantha Real, the catcher for the Catamounts. So wind up in the pitch. No run. We got a ball call on the inside part of the plate. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The runner on first. Greenlee gets the sign. The ball is hit in between the gap again, this time a little bit into the green. 1 hopper to the left fielder, Madison Myers, who gets the ball in quickly. Western Carolina now has runners on first and second. As Kennedy Stuman, the third baseman, comes to the plate. Greenlee gets the pop up, but we have a collision between Brooke Ramsey and Bailey Greenlee. Greenlee records the out. Got hit pretty good in her upper body as Ramsey went for the ball, and she's being escorted into the dugout. She seems to be okay, but maybe just a little rattled as the Hornets gather here before in front of the dugout to get ready for their at-bat here in the bottom of the second. We saw no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 on base. So we go to the bottom of the second, and we'll be back here shortly with Alabama State at the plate. They'll have Alex Presley, Alexa Denby, and Kiana Parrish coming up. All right, we're back here, bottom of the second inning. We've got Alex Presley coming up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 27. She'll be stepping in for the first time this year, and she takes her first swing. Is going to be a pop-up to the shortstop, and the shortstop, Bailey Honeycutt, with the catch and secures the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Lady Hornets, number 5, right fielder, Alexia Denby.
And now batting Alexa Denby. Takes the first pitch inside. Denby from California. Probably looking forward to the West Coast trip again that I alluded to earlier, that the Lady Hornets will be taking later in the year. Down, hard ground ball to third base, fielded by the third baseman Kennedy Stuman, and on to Twitty to record the second out.
Playing third base, number 22, Kiana Parrish.
And that'll bring up Kiana Parrish. Parrish also from California. She's actually a transfer from Cal State Fullerton. As she digs in, takes the first pitch, 0-1. So we got several players from the California area and the West Coast area that will really enjoy that trip later on this year First is business here in Montgomery, Alabama. It's the Lady Hornets doing what they can to try to get on the board. Foul ball runs the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Parrish digs in. Ball inside and fouled off. Check back into the fence. It's going to put the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As number 22 digs in, Alexa Parrish, or Kiana Parrish. Parrish with a swing and a ground ball to third base. It's going to be over to Twitty. They're going to record the 3rd out of the inning. Once again, the Hornets go. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're going to go to the top of the 3rd inning. Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. All right, we're at the top of the 3rd inning. We have a new pitcher for the Hornets. And it's Ashley Payen to pitch. First pitch is hit by Breckington into the Brewington into right field for a single. So lead off single, and Brewington is back on base in business. She scored the game's only run at this point as Pye toes the circle. Ground ball back to the pitcher to short, and then back over to first. We've got 1 on the front end, but we don't get the 2nd one on the back end, so there'll still be a runner on, but we did record an out, and they try to get into a rundown, but they threw it not able to finish the play, and the runner's going to be safe back at first base.
Now batting for the Catamounts, shortstop, number 35, Bailey Honeycutt.
Baldwin on first. Honeycutt at the plate. Pye to deliver. Back at her and she records a double play as she goes back to first baseman Leah Richardson, and they're going to get no runs off, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Quick half inning. And we are now going to the bottom of the third inning.
Now batting for the Lady Hornets, playing first base, number 12, Leah Richardson.
All right, the other half of the double play there, Leah Richardson, she comes to the plate here, looking to try to get Alabama State in business. Swings at the first pitch, and it's fouled back for strike one. Next pitch inside. We're going to get a 1-ball and 1 strike. Leah Richardson. Every time I look down to see where somebody's from, they seem to be from California. We only have a couple on the lineup, but every one of them seem to be in the lineup today as she moves the count 1 ball and 1 strike with no outs here. Richardson digs in, takes the inside pitch and gets the call, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is high, a little bit away. Moves the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. The catcher goes out to talk to the pitcher, Taylor Norton. Maybe they got crossed up on their signals a little bit, or she's just trying to calm her down here early in the inning and make sure that she stays on track. Leah fouls next pitch off. We got a full count here going with no outs. Bottom of the third. Richardson a little bit behind on that one. Gets a good swing at it though. Hard down the first base line, foul. She'll get another chance here with this full count. Richardson hits it deep, right at the edge of the warning track. Left fielder Geraldine Wells able to track it down on the line though, but she does get a good piece of it, just not enough, and fairly dead air here. About 58, 60 degrees. Winds blowing slightly from left to right if you're looking at the plate, and that's going to bring up Brooke Ramsey. the freshman catcher. Ramsey pounds one foul. Ramsey, the freshman catcher out of Tenneesse, Stewart's Creek High School. She'll be making her debut at bat here. 5'5" catcher from Tenneesse with her first college at bat. Inside pitch. He hadn't called a little. He's been pretty tight. That one got a little bit out there. It was still a right there in the zone, and gets the strike call to go to no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch, foul back. Ball fouled, almost takes out. First base coach wakes her up a little bit anyway. She hadn't seen too much action yet. It's early. Hadn't seen too much action yet, but just woke her up, make sure she's ready to roll. And so we'll step back in for 0-2 count here on Brooke Ramsey. She fouls another one down the third baseline to continue that 0-2 count. Foul straight back. It's a nice battle by the freshman in her first at bat. She's doing everything she can to get on base. Gets her on the inside pitch, though. Strikes out swinging. Court out number 2. That's going to bring up
now batting for the Lady Hornets, left fielder
Madison Myers. Madison Myers, senior, Brownsville, Tennessee, via Pensacola State Community College. Takes the first pitch. It's a ball. That's going to stay out for ball 2. Myers gets ahead in the count. The lefty in the 9 hole with some speed to bring up some speed back to the top of the lineup. So even with 2 outs, Myers and the Hornets are a big threat once you get to the bottom of the lineup. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 outs to Myers. She slaps one back to the pitcher, unable to beat it out. Norton to Twitty, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. No Hornets left on base.
No hits, no errors, no runners left on base.
We move to the top of 4th inning.
We're now headed to the
Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. Now batting for Western Carolina, Myra Twitty. First pitch is going to get the outside corner. We are on the top of the fourth. Western Carolina up 1-0. Pitch outside for a ball. So we had pitch outside to caught the front corner, and that one just a little bit further out. As Pye continues to try to figure out how far she can move those corners and how far the umpire is going to get her. So far today, that hasn't been very often. Twitty fouls one back into her leg for the foul ball, and you're going to have strike two. So you have 1 ball, 2 strikes here on the batter, Twitty. Pie in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitcher from Stockton, California. Another California pickup, the sophomore. Standing 5'7" in the circle. 2 rocks back in the delivery. It's going to deliver a foul ball into foul territory, and we're at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turned over just a little bit too much on that. Puts it to full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Twitty hits a ground ball to the shortstop, Alana Scott. Over to Leah Richardson with a 6-3 put out. And that's going to be the first out of the 4th inning. Alabama State here in the top of the 4th. Still down 1-0. Nice defensive play by Alana Scott. Stepping in to bat, number 8, the second baseman. It's going to be Natalie Henry. The first pitch is going to be a ball outside, ball 1. Pitch inside, fouled off. We go to no balls. Or 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. On the batter, Henry. Ashley Pye gets settled in. Good movement on the ball. Fouled off though. Count stays. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pye gets the soft liner to second base. Jada Gardner records the unassisted second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Geraldine Wells. Pitch grounder from Scott to Richardson, and that's going to be 3 up and 3 down for the Alabama State defense. Western Carolina has no runs, no hits, no Alabama State errors. Western Carolina leads nobody on. It's going to take us to the bottom of the 4th. Score: Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. All right, we're in the bottom of the 4th. Kendall Doremus up to bat. Stingers in the crowd. First pitch is fouled off. It's an 0-1 count. Doremus hits one. Might be trouble, and it is. It falls there in right field, and Doremus, with the speed that she has, she's going to be in there standing up at third base, leading off the inning with a base hit triple to start off the inning. And the Alabama State Hornets are in business. All right. Staying in the game, hitting. They make a little lineup adjustment, but still in her spot is Bailey Greenlee, who came out earlier. Had a little bit of a tissue in her nose, maybe some kind of maybe a glove into the nose earlier, but she's got a 1-0 count. She swings on the outside pitch, so we're looking at a 1-1 count. Western Carolina, with their traditional slap defense, Greenlee really can do a lot of things with the ball. I don't know if I'd give that ball up at second base. She slaps it to short. There's going to be a play at the plate. Doremus is out at home. Greenlee is safe at first. So they go for the speedy Doremus, trying to get in, but just a little bit too hard to the shortstop. Shortstop has a fairly easy play to get it to the home, and Doremus is thrown out at the plate for the first out of the inning. Now at the bat, Elena Scott, shortstop, who's seen some good action at short today defensively. Takes the first pitch, strike call. And Scott pops up to the second baseman, Natalie Henry. Now we have 2 outs.
Now batting for the Lady Hornets, designated hitter number 27, Alex Messi.
And in the bat now, Alex Presley. With Bailey Greenlee on first and 2 outs. Presley pounds one into right field. Now have runners on first and second. She records her first hit of the season. Now batting the right fielder, Alexa Denby. Denby popped up to the shortstop last time up. First pitch is a ball. And this is going to be off her handle. Twitty's able to handle it, though. And that's going to end the inning with a pop out to first base.
2 hits,
No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 left on base, though. Western Carolina, after 4 complete innings, up 1 with Bama State 0. All right, to the top of the 5th we go. Leading off the inning for the Catamounts, right fielder Bailey Treadway, as Bailey Greenlee re-enters the game as a pitcher. She never came out of the game because she batted, and she first pitch back in is hit to the wall, off the wall, for a stand-up double for the Catamounts. So we lead off the inning.
For the Catamounts, catcher number 32, Samantha Reel.
And the catcher, Samantha Reel, comes to the plate with Bailey Treadway sitting on second base. Greenlee digs in. The pitch, nice push bunt, just between the pitcher and the third baseman. Shortstop was moving with the runner on the steal, and I don't think you could see a more perfectly executed push bunt with a runner moving. And that's going to put Real on first base, Treadway on third. The awkward first and third position. See what kind of defense. Last time we gave up the run to get the out. I don't think we'll be in that position this late in the game here in the top of the fifth. Alabama State, though, gets a break from number 24, Kennedy Stewman, who pops the bunt up. Kind of makes it a little bit more tenable situation as Alabama State's catcher is able to record the out, Brooke Ramsey. So runners on first and third now with one out. And the leadoff, Brooklyn Brewington, slapper at the plate. You see Stinger has made his way to the dugout. So if we need a pinch runner in the following innings, I might have somebody that pick up some wheels and get it down and get a couple extra bases. In the meantime, Greeley to the plate. He's going to find that corner for a first pitch strike. So no balls and one strike on the leadoff, Brooklyn Brewington. Be interesting to see if Western Carolina tries to get that extra base here. Shortstop's kind of deep in the hole. Makes it a little bit easier if she's got the speed to try to do it. They're going to play it safe, though. They're going to look back to runner, hit to Greenlee. She looks the runner back. They move the runner to second, but the runner at third stays, and they record the out from the speedy Brewington, and nobody scores. So now we have a runner on second and third, and the number 2 batter, Savannah Baldwin, comes to the plate with runners on second and third. Couple of big pitches by Greenlee to get a pop out and a ground out. See if she can work her way out of this inning and gets the pop out but to the fence for first pitch, fouled off strike. Maxwell Air Force live in the air, flying by. Greenlee flies one past the batter Baldwin for strike 2. So we're sitting at 2 strikes, no balls, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. A weak pop up to the third baseman.
No runs.
Kiana Parrish snags the ball easily out of the air. And Western Carolina gets no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. We're back here. Bottom of the 5th, Kiana Parrish at the plate. Trying to get things started. Got a timeout. The mascot on the field. He's going to be confined to the dugout. That's the first warning I've seen on the mascot in a long time as he's been confined to the dugout. He had found Hornet had kind of flown off onto the field, cheering his team on. Now the first pitch comes in, ball in play to the shortstop, Honeycutt over to Twitty. And Parrish is out to start off the inning. Now batting, first baseman Leah Richardson. Richard takes the first pitch outside. Norton, who's been strong all day, nibbling at that corner, doesn't get that one. Richardson wisely holds off, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Here with an out in the bottom of the 5th. Richardson kind of come back in, went out, came back in, got on Richardson's hands. She fouls it into the net. As we talk about how strong Taylor Norton's looked today, I look down and Mackenzie Martin is warming up in the bullpen for Western Carolina. So Richardson takes the ball 2. Pitch high. Three balls, 1 strike, and the pitch inside got on her hands again. Twitty's able to get a ground ball and get the unassisted out at first base. It's going to be out number 2 for the Hornets.
Now batting for the Lady Hornets, catcher, number 34,
Brooke Ramsey coming to the plate now, the catcher. She's looked good behind the plate today. And she hits the ball to short. Picked up by Honeycutt, fires to Twitty. And Taylor Norton has a fairly uneventful bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're going to move to the top of the 6th inning. Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. All right, we're back at the top of the 6th. Stinger visiting through the press box after being confined to the dugout earlier. Alabama State's Greenlee still in the circle. She faces number 35, the shortstop, Bailey Honeycutt, who fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. See, sometimes you look at a mascot and you think, oh man, sure is. Would hate to be in that on a 90-degree day, but on a 55 and windy, it's probably a good day to be in. That mascot has to get a pitch on the corner. Not sure if it's a called strike or if she did the swing. Either way, it's going to be a strike, and we're going to go to 0-2. Greenlee tries to get her to chase Rye's ball here. She doesn't bite on it, and count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch outside. Go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Greenlee takes the signal, fires in, gets a pop foul, out of play. Number 3, Greenlee. Dark hair, long, braided in the back, white specs. It's got a pretty intimidating look to her as she toes the rubber in the circle. Throws a nice changeup, but doesn't bite on it. Great pitch, but low. But a great pitch to try to elicit a swing, maybe even a ground ball or a strike. Doesn't get it, doesn't get the call. Count moves to full. Sawed off. Shortstop deep in the hole. Doremus makes the Elena Scott makes the throw to Leah Richardson to record first out of the inning.
Number 22, Myra Twitty.
Now at the bat, Myra Twitty. Cleanup spot here for the Catamounts. First pitch coming up high for ball 1. Well, high and out on that pitch. Greenlee falls behind 2-0 to Twitty. Twitty lifts one high in the air. Wind brings it in a little bit. Doremus has the draw bead on it coming up. Has no problem with it. Makes the catch, fires it back in, and that's going to be the second out of the inning.
Number 8, Natalie Henry.
Henry coming to the plate. Western Carolina. Greenlee digs in. Pitch is going to be out. Fouled off for the first pitch strike. Ball hit to right field. Right fielder Alexa Denby
No runs,
with the can of corn, pulls it in,
errors.
fires it back for the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're going to move to the bottom of the 6th. Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. All right, we'll go to the bottom of the sixth. There was an update today in between at bats. There will be no games tomorrow due to the pending weather coming into the Montgomery area. Do expect to get all of our games in for the rest of the day, and we do have a schedule set up for Sunday, but we will not be having any games tomorrow as Alabama State comes to the plate. Number 2, Madison Myers here, kind of that second leadoff, that number 9 hole slapper that can kind of turn in and around. And this is how you set. This is one of the reasons you set that slapper up in the 9 hole is a lot of times they end up in the first inning. She has a soft slap to third, unable to leg it out though. Nice play by the third baseman, Kennedy Stallman, and Stewman getting the out to Myra Twitty. It's a nice soft slap, just a little bit too much on it. Not a bad at bat at all. Something that as the year goes on and that touch gets a little bit stronger or a little better and better, that ball is going to get there and she's going to be able to leg those out. So something to look forward to as Kendall Doremus comes to the plate. And she has a hard slap to the shortstop, not giving her much chance at all, although she's able to handle it at short, and that's Honeycutt over to Twitty to record the second out of the inning. And now comes the pitcher, Bailey Greenlee. And it's a 3 up, 3 down, if I'm not mistaken. 3-pitch inning to the shortstop.
No one left on base.
And that's a 6-3 out there. Quick, very quick. We're going to the 7th, folks. All right, we're back here in top of the 7th. Maddie Mantell coming to the plate for Western Kentucky. Greenlee digs in, first pitch ball. Hit 1 ball, no strikes. Mantell fouls one out of play. Count moves 1-1. Ball up. Count moves 2 balls, 1 strike. tell. Fouls another one off. They got 1-2. Don't know how. He just said 1-2 though. I know it. We've got 3-2 count. Umpire showing 2-2. No outs. I don't think that's going to matter though. Oh. So it is 3-2 now. My count was off. Scoreboard count was off. That's okay because we're at full count. We're still alive with this batter. 3 balls and 2 strikes. No outs here in the top of the 7th. Greenlee loses her.
Now batting for the Tenneesse, right fielder, number 10, Bailey Treadway.
The 7-hitter, Bailey Treadway, to the plate as Western Carolina brings in a pinch runner. Or actually, Wells comes back in the game to run. So Wells on first, Treadway at the plate. Don't get the call, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Or actually, no balls, 1 strike. They did get the call. Taking y'all into another world, I apologize. There's a runner on first. Treadway's at bat. 0-1 count, now 1-1 count, no outs. Get the inside strike call there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brings pitch inside. Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Treadway. And that's going to be popped out of play. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Runner goes, and it's safe at second base. So they were able to move the runner on the stolen base by Wells, but they did get the strikeout.
Now batting for the Tenneesse, catcher, number 32, Samantha Reel.
Samantha Reel, the catcher, comes to the plate. I ain't been keeping. Yeah, Brewington. What, in third? Yeah, I got it first. That was like the last one I recorded. Sorry about that. Foul ball out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Runner on second. catcher reel is at the plate. Ball fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hangs in with the foul ball. Big hitter to get right here, number 8. You get number 8, number 9, and you don't have to get back to the top of the lineup. They get in there and get after it in the bottom half of the inning. It's going to be a ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball inside. Gets away. Runner advances. Let's now have a runner at third, full count, with just 1 out. It's a pop out in foul territory to the first baseman. Records the out.
Now batting for the Catamounts, number 2, Anna Page Pelfrey.
And that's going to bring up number 2, Anna Page Pelfrey, in hitting for Kennedy Stewman. Kennedy Stewman. Runner on third. Ball hit sharply to right field, but in foul territory. Close to the fence, just a little bit too far. In left field for our left fielder, Madison Myers, to get over to. It's going to leave a runner on third. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch is going to be outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. With the number 9 batter, or the number 9 spot, with Anna Page Pelfrey coming in to bat for Kennedy Stewman, the third baseman. The pitch is fouled, and it's going to be just out of play. Nice catch in the field. Nice catch in the stands. Unfortunately, this is not Savannah Banana Ball, and we are not going to get that out recorded for us. So she'll have a 1-2 count here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Need this out right here. Get this out, get 3, 4, 5 come in, and let's get some hits, some runs, and get this thing out. Put one in the books as a win here for the Hornets. As Pelfrey pounds one foul. Shakes up the third base coach a little bit. Really wasn't that close, coach, but that's okay. He's smiling like he almost got hit. Pelfrey pops it up into the infield. Second baseman Jada Garner camps under it, pulls it in.
No runs.
And no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we're going to the bottom of the 7th. Alabama State has to find something in their arsenal right here.
7th inning.
Down 1-0. We'll see what Bama State has coming up here in the bottom of the 7th. All right, we're back in bottom of the 7th. Atlanta Scott coming to the plate, trying to get it going. We'll see what we can do with the 3-4-5 hole. His first pitch is called inside for a strike. Haven't seen that call really out by the chalk most of the day. Of course, he obstructs my view, so I am not complaining whatsoever, but the next pitch is outside and low and away, and we're at a 1-1 count now. Scott digs in. Takes the pitch outside. 4-2. 2 balls. 1 strike. It's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. She comes in hard and is able to throw out the speedy Scott at first base for the first out of the inning. Now batting, number 27, Alex Presley. See if she can do something a little bit different to get the Hornets going. She takes the first pitch for a strike. Western Carolina up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. We need some runs right here, Hornets. First pitch, the next pitch, it's going to be at second base. She makes the backhand over to first. That's Henry to Twitty. When they've recorded the second out, and we're down to Alexia Denby. Alexia Denby.
Number 5, Alexia Denby.
All right, Alexia, we need you right here. Keep it going. We're here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. See if Denby can keep them in the game. Takes ball 1. Denby digs in, strokes 1 in the 5-6 hole into right field. And the Hornets are still alive. The runner on first.
Now batting for the Lady Hornets, playing third base, number 22, Kiana Parrish.
Parrish up to the bat, and she's digging in now as they take the left. First pitch, low ball. Denby on first. Parrish at the plate. 1-0 count, 2 outs. And it's a bit outside. Runs the count to 2-0. And there's a base hit in the right field. They're going to stay in, but Denby's going for first to third, and she's going to be safe. And now the winning run, Parrish on second. Denby, the tying run, is on third base. And we've got number 13, Madison Britt, the sophomore out of Eclectic, Alabama, down the road via Wallace of Dothan. And Bama State is in business as Western Carolina goes to the mound, talks it over with the infield. They're fixing to see a new batter. Infield coach walks off after giving them a little quick pep talk, says, hey, we need a third out. That's about all it looks like she had to say. They have a renewed energy coming in. And we're actually going to get number 66, Kennedy Alsbrook, the freshman from Grayson, Georgia. Big spot to put the freshman in for her first at bat. Runner on second and third. Todd Bradley calling time. I think he's going to put a runner in, and he is. Number 4, Lauren Meyer, is going to go take second base from Kiana Parrish. So Bradley makes a couple of moves here. Kiana Parrish is now out. Number 4, Lauren Maher, goes into the game to run at second base. Potential game-winning run. Alexia Denby standing on third base. Potential tying run. Freshman Kennedy Alsbrook swings foul at the first pitch. Let's see you get your first college hit right here, girl. Wind up in the pitch is going to be a ball low. I believe. I hear a lot of chatter, but I do believe that was a ball. I didn't see a strike call. Kennedy looked back like she had some questions, but it appears we're going to go on with a 1-1 count. It's ground ball to third. Scooped. Over to first. Catamounts record the last out. Alabama State gives them everything they want. Unfortunately, it's going to come away on the bottom side of this game. Final score, Western Carolina 1, Alabama State 0. We've got 5 hits for Western Carolina, 4 hits for Alabama State. 2 of those in the last inning, 2 of those putting runners, the tying and winning run. Just a hit away, but they're a hit short in the opener today here at Alabama State in Montgomery at the Stinger Classic. And we are signing off now here from Montgomery. Look for the next broadcast in about 30 minutes here from Alabama State Sports Network.